sometimes I think I'd just like to throw a cold one back.
Well, I mean, you're not alone in that, and I'm sure there are others out there that feel the same way, but is that all right?
I don't know. Is it?
Let's find out.
Let's. All right, guys. I'm Kevin.
I'm Ralph.
And we're the
Church Guyz.
That's right.
This is the Church Guyz show. And
believe it or not, we're still doing this.
yeah, well, I mean, thanks to the dozen or so fans that we have,
That's right.
We're just going to keep plowing through these until everybody catches on.
Well, these are important topics. I mean,
That's
even
true.
if just one person, gets something out of it, then I guess we're doing it for the right reason at that point. So.
Right, and if two people do this, that's both of us. So,
Right. We can't even get our wives to watch this show.
But anyway, we're just going to jump right into our first segment, another Christian Impossible.
Yes. This time, we want to know, is drinking a sin? So what do you think?
Well, first of all, let's just go right out there and say just about everybody has an opinion on this, one way or the other, and they're pretty sold on their opinion.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of people out there that walk the gray area, right? They are either yes, it's definitely a sin, or no, it is not.
So let's back up just a little bit and say, well, is it okay? Let's not even worry about a sin right now. Is it okay to drink? Okay, so what are the arguments that it's okay? I've heard it's healthy even, as long as you don't do too much, right? You heard that one?
Yeah, I've heard that. I mean, like a glass of wine a day, if it's red wine, is supposed to be good for your heart, right?
Right. There's antioxidants and all that. You know what else has antioxidants?
What?
Ketchup.
Ooh.
So, I mean, hey, glass of red wine, have some fries. I mean,
See, now you're talking my language.
yeah, see, I mean, you don't. So let's not pretend like the vitamins that you or whatever nutrients you get from alcoholic drinks.
So what you're saying is that they could be found somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean,
that's just really an excuse.
It's not like some secret vitamin you can only get from a Bud Light. All right,
Right,
So
okay.
let's not.
That's just your excuse to throw one back.
That's right, or 2 or 7.
Okay.
Yeah, but okay, so I just drink a little. I mean, I'm not an alcoholic. I just have one every now and then.
Yeah,
Right? That one's okay. That's fine.
I've heard that.
Okay,
before.
if you just if it's a sin, you're just sinning a little bit.
Well, yeah, but we've already discussed that one in God's eyes, one sin is just as bad as another.
Oh, so
we can't really. I mean, we rate them as humans.
right,
we
right.
rate them, but
Yeah.
God doesn't.
yeah. So okay, that's I think I've heard. Well, okay, so let's also go and say we understand that there are bad things that happen.
Yes, I
when
mean,
you drink. I mean, obviously.
If you overdo it and get behind the wheel,
Right.
horrible consequences.
Do not do that.
Horrible consequences.
If you drink too much, there are diseases that you can get.
Yeah, like what, cirrhosis of the liver?
Right.
I mean, I've actually, back in my college days, I actually had friends that way overdid it and ended up with alcohol poisoning.
Right.
Actually in the emergency room, alcohol poisoning. So, I mean, yeah, there's some bad things that come from it.
Yeah, some will say, well, anything you do to excess is bad, and you're right. Anything you do, so that includes drinking.
Yep.
If you drink too much, bad things can happen.
Eat too much,
Bad things can happen.
at large.
Right. So I get that too. So like I say, there are a lot of. I looked on the internet. There are just as many, articles that you'll say it's okay to drink. They're just as there are that say don't drink. So what do you do?
But we're not trying to answer the question as to whether or not you should or shouldn't, right? That's not what we're getting at. We're trying to dive in and say, is it a sin?
Right.
Does God think it's a sin?
Okay. So turn to the Bible and the section where it says you shouldn't drink.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
You can't. I mean, you can turn to different verses that will tell you don't be of much wine. That drunkenness it makes you a fool.
Right.
Those are good points to make.
But couldn't you make the argument? I mean, Jesus, his very first miracle that he ever performed was turning the water to wine.
Okay.
And I've actually heard people make the argument, he was God, right? God in the flesh. If he turned water to wine, you could bet it wasn't the cheap box wine. It was the good stuff.
Oh, sure. But I have also heard that people will say, well, when he said wine, the Greek word could be that it was just grape juice. Okay, sure, but was it? I mean, or are you just trying to make a point?
I've heard pastors say that that it had to be wine because back then they didn't have all the fancy filtration that they have for water now, and the water could have made you sick, so that's why wine was a popular drink.
Well, I mean, even going through the years, I mean, monasteries have brewed wine, have brewed beers, have produced alcohol as a means of supporting the church.
Yep.
There are real wine, alcoholic wine used in sacraments and in different religions.
Yes, there is. But it still doesn't answer the question. I mean, just because let's say Catholics use real wine, and us good old Baptists use the fake grape juice.
No, it's real grape juice.
Oh, well, yeah, okay, but the fake wine. So
we're kind of cheap.
It really depends on the church.
Right.
So could we say that as Baptists we would look at the Catholics and say, oh, that's a sin and you're wrong?
Oh, I bet we would sometimes because it's kind of how we operate.
But we gotta we gotta go back to the Bible.
Right, the Bible.
Really,
here's a couple of. All right, look here. Wine mocks those who use it and rewards them with woe, sorrow, strife, and wounds without cause. That's from Proverbs. So, perhaps, if you're okay with woe, sorrow, strife, and wounds, none of those are sins, I guess. I mean, it's not really a blessing or anything, but it doesn't say that it's a sin. It says, that you should not be slaves to drink. That's in Titus. That deacons should not be addicted to much wine. It doesn't say don't drink. You should not be addicted to much wine.
So, okay, let me ask this. We all know that, I guess, depending on where you live, because, I mean, we could have some people in other countries that pick this up at some point. So, depending on where you live, there's usually an age restriction on drinking.
Right.
So, I've heard the argument that if it wasn't sinful, or if it wasn't bad, or wasn't bad for you, then there would be no reason to put an age restriction on it. And I don't know that I believe that, because then that's like saying, well, when you get to a certain age, you're free to sin. So that's
right.
That's not it. But
and legal doesn't mean not a sin either.
Right. We talked about that earlier. Sinful and legal are not always the same.
But drinking is very commonplace in every community. There are people that drink. I mean, you can't go anywhere. If you think you're going to go to alcohol-free zone anywhere in town, probably going to come up short. But it's important to note that that's one issue that it could be something that could actually will stop someone from even going to church.
Oh, yeah.
Because they don't want to be judged if people know that they drink.
Yep, I've got a friend of mine that told me that very thing. It's the reason he doesn't go to church. He doesn't want people sitting in the pew looking at him, looking down at him. Now, I could turn that around and say, so there's no chance you're going to give up drinking. I mean, you can make the argument both ways, right? I mean, they're not willing to give up drinking, so obviously they're not that concerned about their salvation. I don't know that I believe that. I believe that there are people who have drinking problems that are never going to give those up. I grew up knowing a gentleman that was that way, and one of the nicest men you'll ever meet in your life, but he was an alcoholic, and he did not go to church because he wasn't willing to give that up. And I get that, but again, as a church and as Christians, how can we really look at somebody else and say, your sin is worse than my sin?
Right. And I've also heard that if you drink and you are a Christian, that it ruins your witness.
I've actually used that one myself. I'm guilty of saying that.
If I'm over at a restaurant and I'm having, let's say, a beer, and somebody that I know that knows I'm a Christian walks in and sees me, are they going to think less of me or think that there's something wrong with my faith if I have a beer?
Sadly, they probably would. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. They probably would.
But is that fair?
No, it's not. And I've been asked that very question. I've been asked, what my thoughts were on drinking, and my response is always the same. I do not believe it's a sin if you're of age, because really and truly, it's not our place to say whether or not it's right, wrong to have an age limit on drinking, right? It is a law, and Scripture is very adamant about following the law that Caesar laid out or whatever else. It's about being a good citizen. So I think first and foremost, you have to follow the law. So you have to be of age. And if you're of age, I don't think there's anything wrong with you having a drink. As long as, like you say, you don't go in excess, you're not drinking to get drunk. There's something sometimes really special about sharing a glass of wine and a good meal with friends.
Right.
So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I have also said in that question, or in that answer, that I choose to abstain from drinking, partly because of my past, which we won't get into. But the other part...
That's a whole other show.
Yes. But the other part was because I didn't want to damage my witness. Now, do I think that if somebody sees me with a drink, oh my gosh, everything that I could possibly tell them about Jesus is out the door? No, it's not what I'm saying.
You might even be better at evangelizing if you had a couple of... what's the
that.
Latin phrase? In vino veritas. In wine there is truth.
You're right.
And some people get pretty truthful.
I didn't think about that.
With the wine, because you can say, man, let me tell you if my child loves Jesus. And they're like fanning, oh, maybe you should tell me from over there. But no, in reality, I think that, again, a drink in and of itself, not necessarily, or not a sin, but it could be something that leads you into sin. But that doesn't necessarily mean...
That doesn't make it a sin.
Yeah, no, because, there are a lot of things that you can do innocently enough that, unfortunately, turn into something else.
Yep.
Having a job and making good money gives you money. Money in and of itself isn't bad, but
there's nothing evil about money itself.
But chasing after, making that your thing, the love of money, that is sinful.
And Scripture says it's the root of all evil. It doesn't say it is evil.
Right.
It's the root. It's the beginning of evil. So you can't say that that's a sin.
I think the thing that I would take away from this, and again, I know there are a million opinions. And for every point I can make, somebody else can make a counterpoint. Yep. So it comes down to your personal take on it. And I would think if you think that drinking alcohol will lead you down a path you don't need to go, then you should avoid it.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with that. No one should ever judge you for not doing it. I have a little diagram I'd like to draw here, just real quick, something simple. All right. Bear with me. And you have to pardon my handwriting. All right, but here are your options. You either drink or you don't drink.
All right, drink.
Let's not even try to say I just only drink whenever I'm doing this, or I only drink on the week, whatever. You either drink or you don't drink.
Right, no middle ground.
Right,
one or the other.
Right. Okay. So. Don't worry. I'll explain.
I'm a little worried.
All right.
Okay.
So. You either drink or you don't drink.
Right.
Now, either a bad thing is going to happen when you drink, or a bad thing is not going to happen when you drink.
Okay.
All right.
So there's no good thing, just bad or not bad.
Here are the things that could happen.
Okay.
If you drink, something bad could happen.
Right.
If you drink, something bad maybe won't happen.
Okay.
If you don't drink, nothing bad alcohol related is going to happen.
Right, but that doesn't mean nothing bad is going to happen.
No. But this is just for alcohol.
Okay.
And then your other option is you don't drink and nothing bad happens. So, if you drink, either something bad will or won't happen. If you don't drink, something will or bad won't happen. Now, which one is more likely? The most likely thing, you drink and a bad thing happens.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you don't want to happen. That's like of the four options, those are the one you don't want to happen.
Gotcha.
So, the odds of something bad alcohol-related happening when you don't drink are very, very slim.
Right. Okay.
So, your best case scenario is you want no bad things to happen.
Right.
Now, the chances of a bad thing happening when you drink are much worse than when you don't drink. So, just using that simple logic, if you're worried about the dangers related to alcohol, don't drink.
But it still doesn't mean that it's a sin. So, It's your preference. It's your decision to make. And quite honestly, neither one of us will ever say, oh, you're going straight to hell if you have a glass of alcohol. It's not going to say it. It's not in Scripture. So that's where we'll leave this one. And I really do like telling people they're going to hell. But I can't do it on this one.
That's the exact opposite of what you should be trying to do.
I know, but So anyway, next topic. So we got an email.
Right, and we always want to respond to our emails.
We did. Actually, the drinking thing was actually an email too. It's actually a viewer. It was his second email to send to us about that. Wanted just to know what our view was. I think it was Jade. It was the second time he sent an email in, and
it's a cool name.
It really is.
It's much cooler than Ralph. It's literally like it's a euphemism for vomit. Ralph. It's terrible.
We won't even talk about mine. So anyway, but now we had another viewer that sent in an email, and
so all of our viewers are sending emails at this point. All three of them.
Yes. So here's the thing. And this one really hit close to home.
Okay.
It struck a chord. This lady, Jennifer A. She wants to know.
Hey, Jennifer Aniston.
I wish.
Do you?
We'll edit that part out. So Jennifer really wanted to know what our thoughts were on social media prayers.
Oh, you mean like, please pray for so-and-so, something that's going on, and then somebody in the comments says, praying for you.
Yep, or I'm calling all my prayer warriors, da-da-da-da-da-da, and then, all the comments light up of 20, 30, 40 comments of praying.
Sure. Yeah, I don't ever type anything on those.
I don't either, but it's not because I'm not praying for them. It's just I don't want all the notifications on my Facebook popping.
Oh, I'm not praying for them. I'm too busy giving. It's either the thing where if you get 1 million likes, I get to go to Disney World thing. I'm liking all of those. I don't have time to be doing Facebook prayers. No, I know I get what you're saying, and it's true. Any prayer request that you made should not be made for the simple to draw attention to yourself. It should be an earnest need for prayer.
Well, okay, so are we saying, though, that those people that are posting that on Facebook or any other social media, that those aren't earnest prayer requests because they're putting them on social media?
Oh, no, I'm just saying, you just get the idea that for some people, honestly, they're really just trying to bring attention to themselves, I think.
Okay,
now,
so
we're going to focus here on the legitimate, I need your prayers. You respond, I'm praying now. Are you praying now for real?
Okay, so to spin off of what you just said, we're making the assumption that the prayer request is legitimate.
Right.
So that's not in question.
Right.
But are those people who are saying, praying, could some of them be looking just for simple attention? Look how cool I am. I said I'm praying for you.
I'm gonna say that's probably at least some of the case. You don't want to think that about people, but let's face it, probably some of them are. But let's focus then on just the ones that are sincere. They take their time. Are they praying right now? Is there a format to that?
That's what I want to know. I mean, pray now. Do I have like a time lapse that I've got to get this done within X amount of time? Or right. It just doesn't count.
Or all right, I'm going to stop everything I'm doing, and I've got like 5 people here that want prayers. So you set aside a certain time to do it during the day.
I know people that have actually stopped, and because they've told me, when I say I'm praying right then. And again, we could have a whole other show on prayer itself. I mean, what does prayer look like? To some people, I have been known to take my 45-minute drive to work and pray all the way there, and I'm sure people passing me on the interstate think I'm an idiot talking to myself, but...
Two things can be true.
Well, that's true. That's true.
I kid.
But really, you don't. But that's the thing is that prayer looks different to everybody. The whole idea is that it is legitimate, heartfelt conversation with God, right?
Right.
But you could also bring up the whole scenario of, when you say that you're praying for somebody, not about when, but did you really pray for them? Like, maybe it's maybe your prayer time is at night right before you go to bed.
Right.
Did you remember to pray for them?
And I'll tell you, prayer is a very real and very powerful thing.
Yep.
I mean, I can give you personal testimony to times where I have seen answered prayer. So I do not discount the power of prayer. I do wonder, again, about, taking prayer to the social media network. God doesn't need Facebook to get in touch with you. You don't need Facebook to get in touch with God.
Right.
But it does create a community of prayer if it's really working. If there are people really reading these prayer requests and going, I'm going to pray for these people, then I have no doubt that God hears those prayers. And if putting it out on social media helps you to feel better about getting your need into the hands of people who can pray for you, then go for it.
Okay, I can see that. I mean, really and truly, most every church on the planet probably now has a Facebook account or Twitter accounts or whatever else. I mean, it is a way to reach people. So, I mean, if churches are willing to use it to reach people, I can see where prayer requests can be shot out on social media. I don't discount the person that's putting the prayer request out there. I tend to question the sincerity of the people that claim that they are praying.
Right.
I'm telling you, I've been guilty. I have been guilty of throwing that I'm praying for you, and then get busy in the day, other things happen at work, things going on at home, this, that, and the other, and I catch myself, oh, crud, I never did pray. And it's something we take very seriously. I mean, if I'm going to tell you that I'm praying for you, I want to pray for you, because you're right. Prayer works. It's powerful. It changes people. We could have a whole other conversation about the fact that God already knows what's going to happen. So prayer is really more about changing our hearts than it is changing God's mind.
And we're not talking, again, we're talking about legitimate requests. I need your prayers. We're not talking about posting a picture of some sad things. I wonder who will really like this and share it, and who will just scroll on past.
You'll be blessed you'll be blessed if you'll share this picture of Jesus.
Jesus knows my heart. I don't need to like your Facebook post about whatever thing it is that you think is the thing.
Now, if I get a friend request from Jesus, then I might have to start liking some things. But until then, I think I'm good. I mean,
as long as he doesn't post pictures of his cat.
Or apparently for you, the dog. Okay, so here's the thing. Where do we leave this at? I mean, I guess we are both in agreement that
Jesus has a cat on Facebook, and that we should like his picture so that he will bless us. I think I've gone.
Yeah, you're in that realm of me telling people they're going to hell. So I mean, we probably need to reel you back in.
If you don't like Jesus' cat picture,
that's what that's saying though. If you don't like this, you're not going to be blessed. You might as well tell me I'm going to hell if I don't like it. It's still not going to change the fact. I'm still not going to like it. I'm going to scroll right past it. But I'm one of those Facebook stalkers. I don't post a whole lot. I scroll through, see what everybody's posting. Oh, look, she's being an idiot again. Oh, well, that's what I wanted to see, what you ate last night. I just kind of...
What are you scrolling through here?
Scrolling.
What is that? It's more of a... Yeah, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what that is.
Look, scroll. See, I'm going up. Scroll.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you scroll up.
Well, you were doing one of the... you were throwing me a softball or something.
No, I got the new phone. The new big one.
Oh, sure.
It was all 4 fingers.
The iPhone 8.
Yes.
Hello? Yes, big is the new small. It's great.
I think we got off track here.
All right.
So, we'll leave it at this. If you're going to be one of those people that says, I'm praying for you, at least pray, right? At least take the time to pray. I actually sent a text message to a friend of ours that you and I both know, and asked him to...
you don't have any friends.
Well, other than you. But I sent him a text message and said, hey, can you pray for me? This is what I need prayers for. I got a text message this long back that was the actual prayer. And I thought, this is pretty cool. I mean, it's a lot. I've never had a prayer text to me, but I'll be darned. I knew he prayed for me.
I don't like you that much. I'm going to tell you now. I'll just pray out loud, and God will get the message, and you'll have to take my word for it.
Okay. I guess I could do that. So, anyway, that's where we're going to leave it. If you're going to say you're praying, actually pray.
Because remember, Jesus' cat needs your likes.
He does.
If he gets 1 million, then he will.
We get to go to Disney.
He'll bring back unicorns.